Honorable Camilo Gonzalez, Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Information Technology, other members of the Cabinet of Ministers of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, members of Parliament, Ms. Trini Chen, Deputy Consular of the Republic of China, Taiwan, other members of the Diplomatic Corps, and I see our representatives from Cuba and Venezuela, Board of Directors of Invest SVG, Ms. Annette Mark, Executive Director, Invest SVG, staff of Invest SVG, senior public servants, chairpersons of statutory boards, members of the business community, members of the media, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, and those listening on radio or viewing on whatever online platform you're on, good day. This is the 2022 edition of Everything Vincy Expo. The COVID-19 pandemic and other disasters like the volcanic eruption has kept this excellent, exciting initiative away from us for the last couple of years, but this year we are back with a bang. And I look forward to everything that would be on display here, and also I look forward to the exciting opportunities that would present themselves for our entrepreneurs here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. To bring you welcoming remarks, let me invite the Chairman of the Board of Directors of Invest SVG, Mr. Anthony Regisford.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning to everyone. I want to welcome especially the Honorable Camilo Gonzalez, Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Information Technology, other members of Cabinet, members of Parliament, Ms. Trini Chen, Deputy Consular, Republic of China, Taiwan, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Board of Directors of Invest SVG, the Executive Director and her staff, senior public servants, chairpersons of statutory boards, members of the business community, members of the media, specially invited guests, exhibitors, ladies and gentlemen. It is my fourth time performing such a task. I'm welcoming you to the Everything Vincy Expo. This is the 2022 version and is captured under the theme, yours, mine, ours. And I think that's an appropriate theme because what we are trying to do here at Invest SVG is to create a platform for our talented Vincentians who are entrepreneurial in spirit, who can produce products that are tangible or the intangible and contribute to revenue streams that go into the composition of how our economy works. That's essentially that in a nutshell. This event is very important because it's a showcase of all of that. And I am told that we have 120 participants in this year's Everything Vincy, and I wish them all the best. Invest SVG is tasked with many responsibilities. Very often, Minister, we're asked to walk, chew gum, and bake bread at the same time. And I think Invest SVG does that quite well and makes it look very painless. Last year, we spent 7 months at a global expo, Expo Dubai, and that was no small task. I know that there are varied opinions on how we represented St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but I would like to congratulate Invest SVG for what, as a net result, turned out to be a very good representation in Dubai. This is a smaller scale, but it is the preparatory phase of what happens when we want to take and showcase our talents, our goods, our products abroad. We know it's not just about showing. There are many layers that have to be in place to enable that entrepreneurial spirit. I think it's fair enough to say that since the launch of Prime, we have seen an escalation of people coming out as entrepreneurs, and I think that was the objective. And we need to build on that. We need to provide an enabling environment, and for that, I thank a lot of our development partners, the Embassy of China, Taiwan. I know you've been very active in that space. We've got regional development agencies that work very closely with Invest SVG, and I think the policy of the ministry is in the right place, and we are guided accordingly. Let me welcome everybody again, and over the next 4 days, I hope that people come out, have a look, see what we are showcasing. I hope that the participants, the exhibitors, get a chance to make linkages, satisfy the domestic market, look regionally, look internationally, and appreciate that it's a work in progress. Thank you very much, and welcome once again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Regisford, Chair of Invest SVG. Now, you should see on your program that we should be having an item of dance from His Majesty's Female Inmates Dance Group. We're trying to ascertain whether or not they're here. And so that's the challenge now. But if they aren't, we will just move along with the program, because we have quite a program here for you. And we would invite our next speaker. One of the partners, for this to happen, for everything Vincy Expo to happen, requires partnership. A partnership between Invest SVG and other stakeholders. And one of those partners that has been constantly supporting Invest SVG, and not just Invest SVG, mind you, but all of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are our friends from the Republic, China, and Taiwan. It doesn't matter what challenges that republic is going through, whether it's aggression from a neighbor or any type of disasters, earthquakes and so forth, they are always there ready and willing to support initiatives of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And so to address us at this point, I'd invite our representative from the Republic of China, Taiwan, Ms. Trini Chen, and maybe I would ask Trini to change her name to Vincy. You know, she was looking for a Caribbean name, and since she was coming to St. Vincent, she could have chosen Vincy Chen, don't you think? That would have been a nice touch. However, let me invite from our friends at the Republic of China, Taiwan, Ms. Trini Chen, to address us.
Good morning. So my name is Vincy Trini Chen, not Trini Chen. Thank you. Honorable Minister Camilo Gonçalves, Minister Anthony Regis-Ford, Mrs. Annette Smart, distinguished guests, diplomatic corps, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, and Ambassador Peter Lan, I would like to thank for inviting me to the opening ceremony of Everything Vincy Expo 2022. Ambassador Lan is not able to come today for unforeseen factor, and he asked me to convey his congratulations to the people and government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. After a suspension of 2 years, we are so happy to see Everything Vincy Expo is coming back as we celebrate the National Day of the Republic of China, Taiwan, and the Independence Day of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, all in October this month. Everything Vincy Expo was held for the first time in October 2017, and we have witnessed the success of the expo. Although it was suspended because of COVID-19 pandemic in the past 2 years, it comes back at the right time now when the economic is recovering from the impact of COVID-19. The economic is recovering. And the volcanic eruption of La Sophia last year. Taiwan has always been a true friend and development partner to SVG since we established diplomatic ties in 1981. From the first day of our relation, both countries have worked together to benefit their people and support each other in national development and dealing global challenges. So my country has been supporting everything Vincy Expo since 2018, for we understand how important it is, and we feel honored to be part of it, and will keep continue. This year, you may notice there are many women entrepreneurs and business owners to showcase their products. Some of them are participants of the Women's Empowerment Project implemented by the Taiwan Technical Mission in cooperation with the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Education. The project provided training courses, counseling services, and relief funds to help women facilitate recovering from their businesses. As of today, there are more than 400 women benefited from the project and more than 700,000 EC of relief funds granted to the participants. As we were told, when you feed a woman, you feed the whole family. Is it right? Therefore, we kindly invite you visiting the booth showcased by participants of the Women's Empowerment Project. When you do so, you will find how talented Vincentians women are. At the end of my remarks, I would like to wish great success to Everything Vincy Expo 2022 and prosperity to every participant in this great event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Chen, from the Republic of China, Taiwan, supporter of Everything Vincy Expo 2022. As indicated earlier, we do have a dance company here from His Majesty's prisons, and so now we invite them to come and make their presentation to us. Let's welcome them as they come.
Now big up SPG, the natural place to be. This is the Rude Boy Kurt along with the original ABC. Now come down and sing about the country.
SPG, my homeland. You gave me no mansion, no gold, no diamond. Yet I love you a million. All the things that you have to offer is more than my heart's desire. Lovely beach, tropical breeze, always there, within my reach. I love you, SPG, my sweet little nation, SPG. I love you, SPG, home of the blessed SPG. Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, I love you.
It's uptown party with a downtown vibe. From we reach by the gate, we party. We don't stop the party. It's Global Canal, and it's uptown party. Oh, with a downtown vibe. And it's uptown party. Oh, with a downtown vibe. It's the same Canal, same pretty girl, same on a wave, same misbehaved. And it's uptown party. Oh, with a downtown vibe. Boy, nobody now act social. The party act is not normal. No behavior, informal. Plenty girl, private and rental. Pipes that flow from ceiling to floor and everybody on the dance floor and rock and come in. Get with the program. Right now we spend about 10 rand. Reach by the gate, we party. We don't start the party. Bacchanal, pure Bacchanal. And it's a uptown party. Out a downtown vibe. And it's a uptown party. Out a downtown vibe. It's the same Bacchanal, same pretty girl, same on a wave, same misbehave. And it's a uptown party. Out a downtown vibe. And we shouting dan 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 hey. Dan 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 hey. Dan 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 hey. Dan 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 hey. Dan 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 boy hey. Nobody not depend on bad vibes. Everybody holding a good vibes. Energy up from outside to inside. Post that one yeah on your timeline. Plenty drinks by the bar and one's gas in a me car and round the clock. Don't wanna shot it. I saw we do it anytime we touch a road. And we reach by the gate, we party. We don't start to party. It's pure Bacchanal, pure Bacchanal. And it's a uptown party. Out a downtown vibe. It's a uptown party. Out a downtown vibe. It's the same Bacchanal, same pretty girl, same on a wave, same misbehave. And it's a uptown party. Out a downtown vibe. And we shouting dan 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 hey. Dan 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 hey. Dan 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 hey. Dan 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 hey. Dan 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 oh. From we reach by the gate, we party. We don't start to party. It's pure Bacchanal, pure Bacchanal. And it's a uptown party. Out a downtown vibe. And it's a uptown party. Out a downtown vibe. It's the same Bacchanal, same girl, same on a wave, same misbehave. And it's a uptown party. Out a downtown vibe. And we shouting dan 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 hey. Dan 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 hey. Dan 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 hey. Dan 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 hey. Dan 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 boy. Dan dan na 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 na. Dan dan na 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 na. Dan dan na 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 na. Dan dan na 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 na. Oy 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 oy. I say oy 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 oy. Oy 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 oy. I say oy 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 oy.
Thank you so much, ladies of His Majesty's female inmates. Thank you so much for that. And I tell you something, apart from the raucous round of applause that you just got, if you really want to know how well you did, watch the face of your instructor. And I watched Juanita's face as she smiled approvingly. She's satisfied absolutely with what just took place. Thank you so much again for that. Please, another round of applause for the ladies. NVEST SVG has a board of directors, but the task of the day-to-day operation falls on Ms. Annette Mark, who, as executive director, is responsible for the execution of the mandate of NVEST SVG. She has a team that is working with her, that supports her, and together they're responsible for a number of the initiatives, including this major event, Everything Vincy Expo. And this, I believe, is the 4th edition. They had smaller ones. They also had one that was done at the market as well. And all of these things are being put together by this amazing team led by Annette at NVEST SVG. To bring you her remarks, let me now invite Executive Director of NVEST SVG, Ms. Annette Mark.
Thank you, Sion. So our first order of business when we have our lessons learned will be that our opening ceremony should be in the evening or very early in the morning because we need to get away from this heat. And while I'm glad for the sunshine, it is kind of hot. And we're not going to try and keep you here too much longer. I recognize the Honorable Camilla Gonsalves, Minister of Finance and Economic Planning and Information Technology, other members of Cabinet, other members of Parliament, Ms. Trini Chen, Deputy Consul of the Republic of China and Taiwan, members of the Diplomatic Corps, specially invited guests, the media. Good morning to you. This is our fourth Everything Vincy Expo. Just mere weeks after I joined the agency, Everything Vincy Expo was held in 2017 at the now Joshua Center. This was thanks to an initiative by Mr. Alan Alexander, the then acting executive director, and the team at Investor and SPG, who recognized a prime opportunity to provide a platform for showcasing St. Vincent and the Grenadines products and services to our people. As a reminder, and for those of you who may not be aware, Everything Vincy Expo has grown exponentially from 40 participants in 2017 to approximately 120 in 2018, 130 in 2019, and I must say that even with the disruptions of the past 2 years, that's prevented us from hosting Everything Vincy, that I can proudly report that as of this morning, we are once again at full capacity. Minister, I do believe we need a new home as of next year. So we'll speak about that after. In 2019, Everything Vincy attained a new level. It was the year that we had participants from Barbados, St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago, and Guyana. Buyers from Antigua and Barbuda, St. Lucia, Trinidad and Tobago, and home managers from the Grenadines. We also had a visiting delegation of businessmen and women representing the Miami-based Taiwan External Trade and Development Council, TITRA. Invest SVG also introduced the Angel Business Investment Program, which was supported by Caribbean Export Development Agency. The goal of this project was to introduce business angel investing to St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a way to increase private investments to MSMEs and other early-stage firms. This was a pilot project, and the winner of this competition walked away with a grand prize of $2,000 US and an offer of assistance from the Bank of SVG for much-needed injection of capital into her business to aid expansion, growth, and further development. 2 years later, Everything Vincy has been beefed up. Even with just over 3 months to plan, it focuses on business, entrepreneurship, entertainment, food, and fashion. As you visit our expo, you will note the range of businesses of both products and services available in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You will also note the layout of the expo has changed from previous years, and of course, you will be treated nightly to entertainment on our volcano stage, which erupts at 7 p.m. The entertainment kicks off tonight with the reenactment of the Dubai National Day production. Tomorrow, Tuesday the 25th, the public can be treated to the Festival of Bands. On Wednesday the 25th is our Gospel Explosion. Thursday the 27th is Double D with drum and dance all day long, culminating on the volcano stage in the night. There is also an after party where the admission is only that you wear our national colors. Finally, on Friday the 28th, after the closing ceremony at 5 p.m., we will bring down the curtains on the expo with Fashion the Music, which fuses fashion and music with a fashion show where you will see some of our entertainers performing in exciting pieces from fashion designers. The COVID-19 pandemic has taught us so much and exposed our vulnerabilities like many other small island developing states, such as our need to ensure food security for our islands and the need to reduce our trade imbalance, and of course, the need to foster a more enabling business environment for our MSMEs. All of a sudden, during the pandemic, the words staycation, innovate, food security, supply chain, buy local, and unfortunately, social distancing became even more popular words. The COVID-19 pandemic, however, thankfully, also made us more Vincentian-centric. We were once again our brother's keeper. We bought local. We tried as much as possible to utilize local. We really had no choice. It should not take a pandemic, though, for us to support local. In support of our local businesses, Invest SVG will be launching our Buy Local campaign during the course of this week that will run until the end of December to encourage everyone to think Vincy first, buy Vincy first, and to support our local businesses. Our local MSMEs play a critical role in the sustainable development and social development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They are part of the fabric of our economy, fostering growth, innovation, and prosperity, flexibility, and quick to respond to market changes and evolving consumer tastes, as we saw during the pandemic, and are an important asset in the globalized economy where consumers are ever more aware and informed and increasingly in search of more customized goods and services. As such, we at Invest SVG are delighted to support local and to provide an avenue to showcase our products and services in a number of sectors: agriculture, light manufacturing, agro-processing, construction, the arts, culture, and the creative sector, to name a few. And if I did not say it before, it took us just over 3 months to plan and execute the expo after the COVID-19 restrictions were relaxed. Our 2023 Expo will pick up from where we left off in 2019, and we will once again focus on trade and investment. Angel business investing, business matching, B2B meetings, workshops, roundtable discussions are just some of the platforms we will permanently introduce to Everything Vincy Expo 2023. The planning of this expo will begin almost immediately after this one, with a little break, of course. In keeping with our objective of our strategic plan for 2022 to 2026, we intend to make Everything Vincy one of the region's most coveted, leading, and premier expos. Now that 2021 and 2020 are behind us, it is time for us to rebuild and refocus on the next Everything Vincy Expo, or more appropriately, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Trade and Investment Expo. This could not happen without some key persons and organizations. Firstly, we sincerely thank the Republic of China on Taiwan for partnering with Invest SVG in hosting Everything Vincy Expo 2022. And for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of China on Taiwan for their generous donation of $40,000 US, exhibiting once again the government of Taiwan's commitment to the government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' welfare and development. Thank you once again. Thank you to all our sponsors. My God, what a list. We really are grateful. The Republic of China and Taiwan, National Lotteries Authority, St. Vincent Port Authority, Flow, National Properties Limited, St. Vincent Brewery Limited, Guardsman, Rainforest Seafood, Bank of SVG, KCCU, Dashville Construction, Caribbean Metals, Braggs, Careers, RS Production, General Hardware, CDC, Corrugated Containers, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. Whew, I need to take a breath now. Thank you so very much. To the management and staff of the Port Authority for accommodating Everything Vincy yet again, and your contributions of the preparations to the preparations of the geese cargo. Thank you to the government and the board of directors of Invest SVG for supporting and understanding and seeing our vision in hosting this expo. Thank you to all our participants. Without you, we really could have no expo. Also, immense gratitude and thanks from me to the hard-working staff of Invest SVG, especially Peter Edward, Nikos Duggan, and Letitia Holder, who have been here on site almost around the clock this weekend to ensure that the venue was ready today. A very special mention and thanks to Rodney Small and Ricardo Adams, ever our supporters and champions. Otmar Marshall, Nizam Gittins, Sean Sam, Conmac Barnett, Randy Thorne, Andres Sutherland, Rafiq Antwine, and Kejard John really could not have done it without you. Thank you for being here this weekend, and thank you for contributing to the transformation of this site. If by chance I have forgotten to mention anyone, please don't hold it against me. It was not intentional. It was, however, I do thank you from the bottom of my heart. In closing though, we have to recognize a friend. Sadly, we have lost one of our own. A friend to everything Vincy and Invest SVG, and a personal friend of mine, Mr. Dwight Hillocks of Tusty Water and Starbright Foundation. Dwight was a visionary, full of life, full of ideas. He and his lovely wife, Gail, moved back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to operate and expand their business, but the COVID pandemic and the volcano eruption stalled the process. Alas, it was not to be under his watch. We at Invest SVG will miss him. We at the Expo, we will miss him. And the participation of Tusty Water, it just wouldn't be the same. I will miss him as a friend. On behalf of the board and management and staff of Invest SVG, we convey our sincerest condolences to his wife, Gail, and daughter, and the rest of his family. Finally, I wish you all a happy independence and a success at our Everything Vincy Expo 2022. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Edie, for your address this morning, giving quite an in-depth overview of what is happening here today and where we've come from. Let me acknowledge the presence of the leader of the opposition, the Honorable Dr. Gordon Friday, who came in after the protocol list was announced. We should be having the feature presentation by the minister under whose ministry and responsibility Invest SVG falls. But before that happens, I know he would be upset if I didn't do this, because he is very much associated with the Steel Orchestra that you heard play earlier. That Steel Orchestra is close to his heart. They have quite a bond, and I know he would want no other entity to serenade him before he speaks. And I know also that the Steel Orchestra, Epic Sounds, is that right? Okay, Epic Sounds is excited also to be serenading or making a performance before the Honorable Minister speaks. So at this point, let me invite Epic Sounds to perform first. An integral part of this construction has been Invest SVG and the policies of the government and the ministry under which Invest SVG falls, the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning. Today, to address you on what is going on here today, as well as the broader vision of the government in building, continuing to construct that new economy, that new St. Vincent and the Grenadines, let me welcome the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Camilo Gonzalez.
Good morning. I think that when Annette was talking about it being too hot for long speeches, she was speaking more about, with a sense of foreboding about what I was going to do, more than herself. I'd like to recognize my brother Minister Frederick Augustus Stevenson, the Honorable Leader of the Opposition, other members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the representative from the Embassy in Taiwan, our brother from the Embassy of Cuba, and our brother from the Embassy of Venezuela. If you want to know what solidarity looks like, you should take a trip down to Lomans Bay right now and see a ship called the Immaculada, which is off the coast of Lomans, outside the Vinlec plant, delivering to us today almost 20,000 barrels of diesel for our electricity at heavily discounted rates, which will mean cheaper electricity bills for everybody. And I want to thank and recognize the government and people of Venezuela for their solidarity in that regard. Recognize my team at Invest SVG. Recognize specifically, additionally, Ms. Federa Richardson, who is doing incredible work, talking about everything Vincy, in getting Vincy farmers and their products ready for market. And of course, I recognize the greatest steel orchestra north of Trinidad and Tobago, Epic Sound Steel Orchestra. If you factor in, Gustus, knowledge of music, teaching young people, community activism, and all the aspects of what makes up a quality steel orchestra. They came third in Panorama, but if you factor everything in, that is the greatest steel orchestra in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Happy Independence, everybody. What we're doing here today is the continuation of a policy that had been put in place a few years ago when I was honored to become the Minister of Finance, to highlight and headline Vincentian innovation, Vincentian industry, Vincentian production, and the talent of Vincentian business people all across the country. I believe, Tony, when we first started talking, we were talking about an expo for everything Vincy. We were talking about an award system, a best of Vincy thing. And we were talking about a location where we could highlight the best that St. Vincent has to offer, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has to offer year round. And so you could have something in a supermarket, for example, that would have a little sticker on it that would say, you know, Best of Vincy Award 2022 or something like that. The Searchlight took over the Best of Vincy idea, which I'm glad, always glad to let the private sector lead on some of these initiatives. And we still have yet to finalize a space where whenever anybody comes off the cruise ship or comes off the plane or anybody comes into town, they'll be able to visit a location that has the best that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has to offer in a single space. But we're getting there. And this time now, in its fourth iteration, we have another magnificent assembly of Vincentian talent as part of the Everything Vincy Expo. In 4 years, although it's been spread over 6 years because we took 2 years off during COVID, we've gone from 40 exhibitors to over 130 exhibitors. And now really, we could have had more this year, but there simply isn't enough space in the geese shed to have more than we have now. And we hope next year to expand everything Vincy to a new location so we can fill the place with all that we have to offer. But this expo and other initiatives that we have put in place are all designed to ensure that the spirit of entrepreneurship in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is unleashed and finds fertile ground to grow and expand, not only in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but regionally and beyond. In addition to the Everything Vincy Expo, we have initiated programs of microfinance to entrepreneurs like the Prime program, which has provided financing to over 1,000 entrepreneurs across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we have crowded in finance from other sources, like the government and people of Taiwan, who this year alone have spent over $500,000 also in grants, in addition to Prime, to entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the more we do that, the more we provide opportunities for entrepreneurs to try their business, to act upon their idea without having the burden of a bank loan or without having the burden of credit card debt. In a way that you can say, you have a good idea. You've convinced us that your idea is good and that you can work on it and develop it. Here is the money. It helps to unleash a sense of entrepreneurship in the country that will tell a person, even if this idea doesn't work, the next one might work. And they won't be handicapped from their first idea because they're burdened by a loan, or they're burdened by some onerous conditions, or they went to Ready Cash to get a little money to start, or they maxed out a credit card to start. And once that entrepreneurial bug bites, we believe that the next great idea, the next talented Vincentian, the next game-changing product is over the next horizon. Because Steve Jobs and Bill Gates didn't become Steve Jobs and Bill Gates with their first idea. They tried and they failed and they tried and they failed and again until they became successful. So a very important part of what we're doing here today is not only highlighting the talent of Vincentian businesses, but inculcating a sense of entrepreneurship across the country, where people feel that it is a viable thing to do, to go out there on your own with your idea and develop that idea and become a business owner, an employer, a provider, and a successful contributor to society. And this is part and parcel of what we're doing here today. Everything Vincy, that idea, and become a business owner, an employer, a provider, and a successful contributor to society. And this is part and parcel of what we're doing here today. Everything Vincy, when you get a chance to go through it, and I'm not going to detain you too long, has an incredibly diverse array of products. You're going to have food products, you're going to have manufacturing products, you have clothing designers. I'm trying to peep over the wall here while we look. Service providers, construction companies and the like. Many of them recipients of either grants, the One program or the Prime program. And all of them seeking opportunities to expand their business beyond where it is now. There is someone in the crowd in a sandal shirt. I'm encouraging them to look at the soaps and the cosmetic products that are here. And I would be very happy when Sandals opens if we could see some Vincy soaps and Vincy shampoos and the like sitting in the bathrooms of the high-end guests, you know, some custom products. We have in the crowd today members of the Kingstown Cooperative Credit Union who have developed with the government a very innovative program to support the fisher folk of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, so that the government will provide the down payment and the KCCU will extend a loan, so the fisher has to put nothing down, and they will be able to borrow money to get additional boats and engines, and so that they will grow their own fishing fleet and enterprise, because fishing is everything Vincy as well. We want to understand, we stress that, as Annette said, the COVID pandemic prompted us to do a lot of things that we didn't originally plan to do. It made all of us download Zoom onto our computer. It made all of us have meetings remotely. It made all of us learn how to act in a time of social distance. And it forced us to move forward technologically. But what COVID has also done, and what this current spike in inflation is doing, consequent of the war on Ukraine, is this forcing us to realize that things that come from foreign cost a lot more money than things you can get locally. And very often, the things that come from foreign are no better than the things that you can get locally. If you think that because inflation in America is high and shipping with tropical is expensive and containers are expensive and customs service charge is high, well, try buying something local. Instead of buying the foreign cereal, buy a local one. Instead of buying clothes from the foreign designer, try it from a local one. Instead of importing your gifts at Christmas time and paying Mr. Amazon, Mr. Bezos, for all of the gifts, buy some local ones. Instead of having a party and bringing in a foreign DJ, hire Epic Song Steel Orchestra. Because we have within us the products, the talent, the capacity, the ingenuity, and the support to move a lot of the complaints that we're having right now about foreign inflation and foreign imported costs. I see Her Majesty, the Queen of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, approaching. I want to, as the one Queen, I will greet formally from the platform. Welcome, Miss SVG. But the point I'm making is that we've reached a point now where we have to start looking and knowing and understanding the scope and breadth and quality of the products that we have here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Which is why, leading out of this Expo SVG, which runs for five days, coming out of that and for the remainder of the year, Invest SVG is going to spearhead a Buy Local, Buy Vincy campaign, which will try to encourage all of us to just swap out one foreign thing you buy with one more local thing. At Christmas time, which is coming up, buy an additional local gift. Go to the supermarket, buy an additional local product. Swap out one of the foreign ones. And if you do that, you will be doing more to contribute to the recovery of St. Vincent and the Grenadines post-volcano, post-COVID, post-conflict, than anything else that you could credibly do on your own. So what we're going to say is, go take a look through here, through the expo, look at the things that you have never seen before, look at the things you've never bought before, and buy one. And when you go to the supermarket next month, look for those Vincentian products and buy them. And we are going to, as Invest SVG, have a few pop-ups in different locations. Not a mini expo might be too much to call it, but few pop-ups in different areas between now and the end of the year that will also highlight local products, local talent, local ingenuity, and we're going to encourage you again to buy one. Honorable Leader of the Opposition, I think this is something that both of us can agree on. Local purchases, local consumption, local production. Let us all get together and not make everything Vincy a 5-day event. Let us make it a part of our lives, that we all get together and support Vincentian businesses, and in that way support each other, support the economy, and support the growth of this wonderful country. Happy Independence and welcome to Everything Vincy.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Finance, for your remarks this morning. Now, I noticed on your program, you see the venue as the Guichet Terminal. Well, just for this week, we now have the Expo Village. So we would not refer to this place for this week as a Guichet Terminal. It looks nothing like a Guichet Terminal, right, Edie? So this is the Expo Village for this week, all right? So you invite your friends to come down to the Expo Village to see what is happening here this week. And they have an interesting theme. Business, entrepreneurship, entertainment, food, and fashion. Beef. So you know the question, where's the beef? Expo Village. So bring your friends, bring your family down to the Expo Village. I'm about to invite to the stage a performer who has won the National Calypso Monarch twice. He's an educator, he's a poet, and just in case you thought that he has only been a part of the Calypso arena, winning the Monarch twice, he has also been involved in the Raga Soca Monarchy as well. Please feel welcome the reigning Calypso Monarch of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Maxwell Tajo Francis.
The devil contacted me, want to give me a walk in hell. I tell him straight up front, I don't want to ring no bell. I said, so you must understand, I want a job as a fireman. I want to blaze hellfire under some man and woman. The devil then said to me, like you don't want to make money. I said, so I'll be doing this job for free. I want to work for my daily bread, keep the hellfire hot and red. I wait impatiently for they reach the land of the dead. So all the men who love rape woman, when you hear they fall in my hand, it's fire. Mothers who sell out the girl pick me, make them sleep in man for money. It's fire, blazing under them grass. All the rascal politicians who involve in racket and scam. It's fire, blazing under them grass. So try and live your life very well to avoid coming down to hell, cause it's fire for you when you reach the land of the dead. Oh Lord, oh Lord, the devil then turned to me and he asked me this question. He was curious to know why I wanted that position. I said, devil, I must admit, the kind of crime some people commit, get away with it, sometimes it does make me sick. Some people just commit some crime, have to be really sick in their mind, are waiting patiently to see their face in the line. I want to be the judge and jury, offering no pity nor sympathy. They shall feel my wrath fire at the highest degree. So all the priests and the clergymen who sodomize the little boys, them. All the rich with the billions, yet so much dying from starvation. Scientists who make corona, kill so much people the world over. Man, it's fire. Oh Lord. So try and live your life very well to avoid coming down to hell, cause it's fire for you when you reach the land of the dead. Oh Lord. Mr. Tajo, I understand. I could see where you're coming from. You have my consent, I award you the position. I was happy, I must admit, to be employing the bottomless pit. I'll be standing there with my fork and also my whip. There are those who commit some act, use money to cover the track. They shall feel my wrath is fire right round the clock. I'm gonna be standing at the gate, cause I want them to know their fate. To avoid my wrath, repent before it's too late.